Hey guys, Roshan here from Biktrix again, and I thought I'll just answer some of the common questions that people have. Don't mind my mask. It's the world we live in these days, and want to keep everybody safe. So I hope you're wearing a mask too. All right, so over here we've actually started shipping some of our Founders Edition bikes. So you can see this is the camo version of the Juggernaut Duo. So a lot of people ask us, like, is the bottom battery removable? Yes, it is. So you can see this is the frame without the battery on it. The battery itself looks like this piece over here. So the battery just pops in, goes right in there. And you can see how there's a charging port out here that charges both batteries. And then the secondary battery just mounts on top here. And you can see that this is actually reinforced really well. So there's 4 different mounting points where the battery sits on. And that's how the 2 batteries work in tandem. They're connected through a little wire, through this little hole over here, and that's how they work together. Now when you order an Armageddon light, we actually install it on there for you. So this one's packed, ready to ship. So you can see there's an Armageddon light installed here. There's a bit of wiring that goes through here, and then we tuck it all nicely in, and the wiring is all inside the frame. So one of the things with the crowdfunding campaign is a lot of people say, like, oh, I've lost a bunch of money on my crowdfunding campaign, never received a product, what do I do? How do I know that Biktrix is going to deliver? Now, I just want to set this clear, okay? So on crowdfunding campaign, a lot of people do crowdfunding for different reasons. Some of them do it because they're launching a new product, or you know, they're launching a new company. Most of them do it because they're launching a new company. Somebody has an idea, they want to bring this idea to life, and they don't know if there's a market for it, so they, pitch it, bring out all their designs and stuff, and then they put it on a crowdfunding campaign like Indiegogo or Kickstarter, and then they see how many people support the project. So essentially, when you make a pledge on an Indiegogo campaign, you're supporting this entrepreneur and his company and his idea, so that they can eventually bring that product to life. So happens that lots of entrepreneurs fail, so a lot of them end up overestimating or underestimating what it would cost to bring a product to life, and then by doing that they usually fail. Now that is a risk that involves in every startup, because as you know, there's a high percentage of failure for startups, just because there may be a lot of costs that come along that they don't know of or that they don't anticipate. For us, this is not our first rodeo, like they say, so we've been in business since 7 years. We ship a ton of bikes out, and we're really experienced with this. So you can see, like, while I'm doing this video, we're actually building our bikes, different bikes for different people. Hey Kent, where is this bike going?
This bike goes to Canada. It's going to Toronto.
Toronto. So you can see we build bikes here to order. So Kent here is essentially building up this bike as it was ordered on our website. This is our Ultra 1000 model. And then out there's a checklist that he goes through for each of the bike, and then builds them, make sure that it meets all of our quality requirements, and then we ship them. And here you can see Tufel is building another bike over here. So this one's got the A bars on it, and also Ultra 1000. So Tufel, where is this bike going?
This bike going to US, Andersonville, US.
Andersonville, US. So you can see this is not our first rodeo, okay? So the reason that we're doing a Kickstarter or a crowdfunding campaign is because we're launching this new line of bikes that has our latest technology. So what's our latest technology? It's a tech where it allows for using 2 batteries on a bike at the same time. And that's really the novel idea that we're launching. We didn't know how many people really care about a bike that gives you like 150 mile or more, like 200 mile range. And that's why we want to do this as a crowdfunding campaign, because we want to see how many people really care about it, how many people want to get it, and as a return for this, you get these bikes at the best price possible, right? And that's why we're doing it. Now, is there a chance that we wouldn't deliver this? Absolutely not, because with Biktrix, we stand behind our products, and we've never missed a delivery of a bike, in all our existence in like 7 years. So we are on track to ship our bikes as promised. Some bikes leaving in December, some others leaving in March, and we have no doubt that the bikes will get out in time. So you can see DJ here is our lead mechanic. He's also working on Ultra 1000 with an A bar. Yeah, so where is this one going, DJ?
Same customer, Andersonville.
Andersonville. Okay, so it looks like this is also going to Andersonville. Is our talk of the town today. And then I want to show you, like, these guys are working on these bikes here. We actually have some bikes. So in our warehouse, we actually have a bunch of bikes over here that as soon as they're built, they're left in over here as you know, in a queue. So right now there's only one because a bunch of them just left. We have a bunch of snow outside, so hence the water that comes in and stuff in the slush. But either way, yeah, so bike gets stacked over here, they get checked and they leave. Now here is another bike, the Ultra Duo with a second battery. So you can see this one's pretty beat up. And the reason for that is because we ride the hell out of these bikes. You know, we really test these bikes, and being in Saskatchewan, we have an advantage that our weather, it gets pretty bad over here. You know, like we have about 2.5, 3 feet of snow outside. So it's perfect to like really test the hell out of these bikes. And it's actually one of the requirements to work at Biktrix is that you need to know how to ride a bike. It was pretty funny putting that as a requirement because a lot of people are like, oh, who doesn't know how to ride a bike? Well, you'd be surprised. So if you don't know how to ride a bike, it's hard to work at Biktrix. You know, we almost won't hire you unless it's an exceptional case. So either way, some people had some questions about the difference in motors for the Kickstarter, for the Indiegogo offering of these duos. So I thought I'll just walk you through what that is. So this particular model here has the motor inside the case here, which is the Bafang 1000 watt nominal, 1500 watt peak motor. It's the BBS HD motor that's inside the case. So essentially the way that this motor assists you is that when you use the motor, it turns the chain. So the chain then transmits the power to the rear gears, and the gears turn your wheel. So what that means is that if your gear is on the lowest gear, so lowest meaning the biggest cog in the back, then you get maximum torque, just like climbing a hill. So when your motor is on, when your motor assists you on the lowest gear, you don't get the top speed, but you get the maximum torque from the motor, which means that you can climb up hills like never before. If you're on the highest gear, which is the lowest or the smallest cog in the back, then you end up getting maximum top speed. Now, this is quite different from a bike that has the motor just in the back wheel. Because when you have a bike, like, let me go over here, there's a bike right over here. So you can see this is a bike with the motor in the back wheel. So when you have the motor in the back wheel, if you look at it, when I spin the wheel, the motor spins the wheel, but the gears are not being used because the gears are used only for your foot. So that's where the big advantage is of the mid drive compared to the hub drive, because in a hub drive, the gearing doesn't really help you. It helps your legs, but not the motor. But on a mid drive, because the motor uses all of your gears as a transmission, it's much more versatile, can put out a lot more torque, can climb up hills better, and because of all those reasons, it ends up being a lot more efficient. So as you know, we have 3 different offerings on or 4 different offerings of bikes on our Indiegogo campaign. The $13.99 one comes with the hub motor, so it's a rear hub motor. These are great motors, lots of power, lots of torque, because it's a geared rear hub motor for going up fairly flat to moderate hills. And then the second offering is the bike with a mid-drive BBS02 motor that would look much like this, but it's a 750 watt mid motor. The third offering is a 1000 watt mid motor, and then the fourth offering is a 1000 watt mid motor with a torque sensor. Now that's actually a completely different motor. It looks just like this one here. It's a Bafang Ultra motor. So these Ultra motors have been really popular, lots of power and torque. And the big difference between this and the other 2 mid drives is that it has a torque sensor. So torque sensor just means that it looks at how hard you're pedaling rather than how often you're pedaling, and then assists you accordingly. So the assist feels more smoother. People who have the torque sensor really love it. People who have the cadence sensor, when they move on to the torque sensor, sometimes they feel like, oh, I have to apply so much more pressure while using the torque sensor. So that's because the torque sensor measures how hard you pedal. So if you're looking for a good workout and just like a regular bike that's multiplying your effort, then a torque sensor is ideal for you. If not, if you just want to hop on a bike and have a bunch of fun, just pedal, but not really, break a sweat a heck of a lot, then a cadence sensor is the way to go for you. So this particular bike, you can see, so this one with the Duo is with the 26 by 4.8 fat tires, We also offer the same bike with a 27.5 by 3 tire. So let's go over here and take a look at what that tire looks like. So this is more like a 27.5 by 3 size tire, so it's a little bit thinner. It's about an inch thinner than the other one. And then we're also working on several other choices for customers. So we'll once the campaign ends, once Indiegogo ends, we'll be sending you a survey that asks you a bunch of questions like, do you want a step-through frame or a step-over frame, or what size of wheels do you like, what color of frames do you like, do you want to upgrade other stuff like seats and handlebars. We're still working out the details of all the different upgrades we want to offer based on the feedback that you guys have given us. So that list is still up in the air a little bit because we're also working with the suppliers to see what we can get in time and what lines up with what our customers want. So I hope this video was useful. Just let me know if you have any other questions, and till next time, we'll see you soon.